Kamaki off the top of the block and out. Japan add another point to their score. They lead 4 points to 3.
Nice receiver by Roy.
Good pick up into attack again. Andres Lomp hitting the ball. Backcourt spike into the net. It was Kamada on that occasion. He's a guy with 1 Olympics under his belt. Played in Seoul in '88. Nice attempt by Australia to keep that in play. Unfortunately, Andres Lomp couldn't bring the ball back into the front court.
Narita serving for Japan. They lead 4-3.
Oh, beautiful block.
Magnificent block.
Kanamaki right on that. Had Tom Duke picked all the way.
Kanamaki very dominant at this stage. They're playing through him on that front line, and he's also blocking very strongly.
That's a better pass for the Australians.
Oh, nice centre ball.
Quite obvious when the Australians can bring that ball into their setter. Raoul Chul can pick one of his 3 frontline attackers, and they're getting through quite often.
Tom Duke serving for Australia.
Bad luck. Matt Perry picked that tip ball over the block, but lunged out. The ball was deflected way out of court. Japan to serve. Straight into a backcourt attack. Tom Duke.
Kanamaki again. Tried to go off the top of the block there.
Nice pass. Backcourt again.
Duke hitting the ball well, but can't penetrate.
Backcourt attack from Japan off the shorter block. At the moment we've got a short block. Australian captain Raoul Chul is quite short on the net, and he's a little bit of a liability in blocking, although he can get up there. He's nowhere near a match of the tall blockers like Matt Perry and Craig Buck. Time out called by Australia. So back into play. Japan serving. Service out.
Murray, but just couldn't put the ball away.
Australian to attack again. This time through Buck. Fuji company team unable to control the ball. Outside.
One of the pleasing things about the Australian performance so far, Murray, is their receival of service. Digging the ball extremely well.
Oh, lovely attacking serve by Craig Buck. Short ball. Found the Garno there, wanting. And the ball into a hole in the court once again. Oh, a beautiful play.
Beautiful spike.
That's the experience, John. Kamada. Beautiful cross-court spike into the attack area. He takes the service. And then throws it away. Australia trailing by 2 points, 6 points to 8.
Andres Lomp, number 9 for Australia serving. Serves to centre court. Beautiful back set.
Outside. They've won the last 2 Olympics and most major world competitions. Ball out to Buck on that occasion, but he was blocked out wide again. Good at a block. That's Roy and nice combination of the Fuji team there, John. They had 2 attackers coming in. The Australian blocks weren't sure of which one to take. They take the point.
Pagano, nice serve. At the Tom Duke. The blocks there, though. See if the Australians can make something of this. Duke again. Hits the ball. Oh, beautiful pickup by the Fuji team. High set. Spike into the net. Australians deserve that point. They control the ball very, very well. And they're able to just probe that back court. Fuji team very strong anything where they're coming forward to the ball.
Oh, good control. Lovely position by the Australians. Fan to attack again.
Beautiful
Short
block
ball,
too.
Blocked. Out wide. Narita this time. Off the Australian block. They're still in play. Chul sets high. Out to Duke. He hits off the Japanese block. Narita this time.
They may be very soon straight off the court.
Dual Olympian, John. You should have more experience than that.
Yes. Tom Duke serving. Japanese playing the wide ball again. Oh, a great pick up there by Australian player. A lot of desperation by Mike Roy. I've been impressed with him so far, Murray. A newcomer to international volleyball, but he's acquitting himself very, very well. Some indecision there by the Australian backline.
Japanese captain Mitsuhashi serving. Once again trying to be very attacking on his service. Served the ball into the net.
Japan leading 11-6. Substitute by the Australian side, bringing on number 10, who is Kieran Cranley. He's replacing Matt Perry. Matt Perry perhaps a little slower in the backcourt, and Australian national coach Thomas Santa Maria deciding a substitute appropriate.
High ball.
Too long.
Hit out. No touch. No touch. Referee awarding the point to Australia. Cranley to serve again. Australia trailing 7 points to 11 at this stage. Japan to attack. High ball once again off the Australian block. Good attempt by Duke to pick the ball up. Couldn't control it. Kanamaki takes the service.
The Fuji team very aware of that Australian block, and they are concentrating on that wide ball. Bad.
Well, Kieran Cranley, he's reputed to be Australia's best receiver. That's not a very good introduction, John. First ball off the side of the arms.
We'll give him that first one. We'll let him settle down.
Nice attacking shot right back into the deep corner of the Australian court. Substitution by Australia. Leaping Eddie Vicosa coming on in place of Andres Lomp. Eddie, a very tall player, jumps extremely high. He's been brought onto the front line to try and give us some penetration to attack.
Japan lead 12-9.
There he goes, first ball, but the Japanese commander picked him out. One-man block against him, shut him out cleanly to the floor.
Like the game really getting to a desperate stage for Australia at this first set.
Service into the net. That was still in a light touch, John.
Very, very light touch. Australia, they really need to pull this back here. The Japanese within 2 points of taking the first set. Australia must launch an attack now. They must get 2 or 3 points in a row, get their momentum going.
Mitsuhashi, soft ball. Craig Buck sets back to Tom Duke. Tom Duke trying to go down the line, but too wide, out of court. Timeout being called by Australia, their second timeout. Teams allowed to only have 2 timeouts per set. Each can last 30 seconds.
I guess from an Australian point of view so far, actually the highlight's been Craig Buck. He certainly is a sensational player, and I'm sure this big crowd, capacity crowd at the West Bendigo Stadium, are lapping up every minute of this particular game.
At the Tom Duke across court. He beat the Japanese block on that occasion. Duke's playing very well, isn't he?
He is. He's a very attacking player. He is willing to have a go at the ball if it's up there for him.
Once again, that tip over the top of the tall Australian block. There's no way Japan could have spiked through that. So clever as they are, they just tipped the ball over the top. Australia's backcourt was far too deep.
Kimada, number 1 for Fuji Japanese side. Roy receives. A nice, beautiful combination.
That's Kieran Cranley's first attacking shot up on the net. Good start.
There he is.
Going. Quick attack from Mitsuhashi. Australia unable to
man
control
again
the back.
from Japan, number 9. As we pointed out earlier, ranked as one of the top 3 sportsmen in Japan.
High ball mistake by Australia over the net, but they get out of it. Set up again, this time to Duke. He goes off the Japanese block. Japanese player, Kanamaki, looks as though he's injured. Came through onto the court. No, he's back up on his feet.
Interesting call that one, Murray. The Australian player, in fact, brushed the net with his back, but the call went the other way. So
Tom Duke into attack. Out wide. Roy across to Raul Toole, small player. Very difficult shot. He's on his wrong hand. Two Japanese blocks against him. Japan calls a substitution. Iwashima coming on in place of Kahamaki.
The game all tied up in terms of point scoring at this stage. We're still on 13-9. We have been for a couple of rotations. Duke.
Oh, great backcourt spike from Tom Duke. Outside.
Ball out.
Australia take the service.
Leaping Eddie Vicosa. Sorry, no.
Cranley to serve.
Kieran Cranley.
At the top of the block. Ball hit the lights in the stadium. Good pick up by Australia. Unfortunate that the rally was stopped. Dual Olympian number 3 for Japan, Iwashima. Attacking serve again. Short ball. Expecting to go into Craig Buck, but it went out to Michael Roy.
The crowd really appreciating that fine precision spike there by Mike Roy.
Here's Australia's opportunity. Bucks in the centre. Backcourt spike to Duke.
Yes, beautiful.
Deflected off the hands of Sugimoto. Outside. Australia
add to their spike a lot, Murray.
Yes, it's been very effective. The advantage of it is it allows the spikers to go around the block. The blockers find it very, very hard to time a backcourt spiker.
Oh, beautiful block.
3-man block. Craig Buck. Ball deflected, just lands in.
Trailing 11-13. The Japanese have gone for a timeout. As the Australians are obviously putting that little bit of pressure on them now. Japanese coach decided a timeout to try and reorganise the Fuji side. So coming up to serve, we have Mike Roy. Australia now only 2 points behind, trailing 11-13.
Attacking serve. Good pass by the Japanese off the top of the block, but the Australians still got control of it. Nice set right outside. Japan back into attack. Out the side off the block. It's Australia's Eddie Vicosa unable to control that ball. Craig Buck was next door to him. They set the block very well, but the hands weren't turned in. Japan trying to serve for their 14th point.
Ikunaga serve. Australia going out to Vicosa. Vicosa again. Off the net now.
Set point to Japan.
Fuji team now in a very strong position. Australia last desperate stand to save this set.
Tipped by Australia.
Oh, great pick up there by the Japanese.
Oh, lovely play. Yes. Bypass Craig Buck on the centre line.
So the first set there to the Japanese side, 15-11.
Very well, but the hands weren't turned in. Japan trying to serve for their 14th point.
Ikunaga serve. Australia going out to Vicosa. Vicosa again. Off the net now.
Set point to Japan.
Fuji team now in a very strong position. Australia last desperate stand to save this set.
Tipped by Australia.
Oh, great pick up there by the Japanese.
Oh, lovely play. Yes. Bypass Craig Buck on the centre line.
So the first set there to the Japanese side, 15-11. Control spike there.
Oh, quick
beautiful
pass by Japan's Kumada on that occasion. Caught the Australian totally unawares, including Craig Buck in the back court. They take the service.
Nagano, number 18 for the Japanese side, coming in to serve.
Nice pass by the Australians. Confusion in the attack combination there. Raul Chul setting the ball out in position 2 of the court. Both players, Tom Duke and Eddie Vicosa, coming in for the same spike and left nobody out there to hit the wide ball. This time, Duke comes around to hit the ball too long. It's out. A little bit unsettled to start, the Australians, in this second set.
Nagano serving again. Nice receiver by Roy again. Duke now beautifully off the block. That was a better combination, Murray. The first 2 rallies, they just seemed a little bit lost, a bit confused, but now settling down to some sort of
communication on the court's very important, of course.
An absolutely magnificent winning point there. So
the experienced Mitsuhashi, dual Olympian captain of this team, able to convert into a strong attacking shot.
Often been described as almost the ultimate team game, Murray. 6 players working together in such a small area. The understanding between the players must be at all times.
Yes, absolutely essential.
Caliber.
Absolutely essential.
The setter, Raul Tool, and captain, trying to settle his team down, trying to get some order out of chaos at this stage. Beautiful spike there by Craig Buck.
Strong, great power from Buck.
He's very laid back though, Murray. When he moves into the ball, there's no fancy footwork. It's just...
He's starting to get stirred up now, though. You can see him on the net. Getting a little bit aggressive. Oh, great block. Tremendous block.
Absolutely magnificent. The old immovable object. Roy serving. Japanese.
Great try. Backcourt attack from Japan on that occasion. Buck not quite over the net, went down the front.
Japan leading 3-1.
Oh, great cross-court spike by Buck. That great height from which the ball comes from makes it very, very difficult for the blocks to get against the attack of that man, and places extreme pressure on the backcourt.
As you mentioned earlier, Murray, his action is very late and he whips that arm over, very difficult to counteract. The Japanese showing a bit of finesse again.
And there's delayed action on that time. Looked as though they were going to pound the ball, but only tipped it over. Found the space of the Australian court. Short ball, but shut out this time. Buck blocked.
Ikanaga serving. Nice receival by Roy.
Oh, nice pass.
Push down the line.
Yeah, right on the line.
I think he's starting to fire up a bit, the big American. He's obviously
a little bit aggro, isn't he?
By nature. I think there's a little bit of personal pride involved. The Japanese, just a nice, steady little combination in the centre there. The ball wiped off that centre block for Australia.
Nagano serving for Fuji. Wide set by Chul. Outside.
Wasn't out by much though, Murray.
He had the right shot.
Timeout to Australia. They trail 1 point to 5. Coach Thomas Santa Maria a little perplexed at the combinations. I think the team not quite knitting together as he'd hope at this stage.
Nagano serving for Japan.
Fukosa and also Roy in position to probably receive the serve. Ball most likely to go to one of those two.
Good recovery by the Aussies. Japan back into it.
Combinations.
Good pass. Too high from setter Chul to Buck. Unforced errors costing them dearly, John.
Yes, I think we can't overestimate the pressure that the Japanese are putting on though until they serve into the net. Thank you very much.
Is it possible, do you think, that the Australians are trying to play too much quick play, not having the experience they should be trying to use more high, wide balls? Good attacking serve.
I certainly agree.
Mike Roy.
Also, I think they need to just attempt to control that first ball a little more. They're putting the setter, Raul Tool, under a lot of pressure as they're putting themselves under pressure with their serving performance. And now we have, for Japan, go up to serve Sugimoto. Japan leading 8-2. Second set, third test.
Nice control from the Japanese.
Number 1 for Australia, Eddie Fukosa, showing some great power on that front line. He's powered away 2 spikes in the last 3 rallies. Just the thing Australia was looking for.
Net touch on Australia.
Australia edging their way back into this set though. Japan now leading 8 points to 4.
High ball out wide to Duke. Ball touched, no touch called.
Let's make that 9-4. Ikanaga serving again. Nice.
Good pass. Quick ball to Duke. Go back that time.
That was a double whammy, that one.
Craig Buck taking serve again.
Line just is in total disarray with those quick plays.
Outside.
Ball passing outside the antenna. Japan now leading 10 points to 4. Australia desperate to get back into this second set. Duke.
Out wide to Duke off the top of the block. Japan bring it back. They set wide.
Narita, nice play. Nagano coming in to serve again. Roy Vicosa ready to receive this particular serve. Australians under pressure in this rally already. Beautiful play. Australia deciding to give Kieran Cranley a rest and
Mark
bringing
Frisbee
on
Smith.
Mark Frisbee Smith, yes.
Australia into attack, out to Tom Duke. He hits sharp across court, but it clips the top of the net, stays on the Australian side. 13 points to 4. Nagano serving again. Attacking serve. Once again, the Australians not in total control. Tom Duke into the Japanese block again. This time he goes down the line.
Beautiful spike down the line.
Ball's called in.
Linesman Gary Roberts calls that ball in.
Once again, that quick play through the centre beats the Australian block.
Kamada serving for Japan.
Doing it easy at this stage. Better pass. Once again, out to Duke. Into the Japanese block. Deflected out of court.
Another substitution for Australia. Number 4, Rowan Turner, replaces Tom Duke.
Oh, he's been given a fair amount of work, Tom Duke, and I'm sure he's only coming off for a bit of a rest at this stage.
He certainly acquitted himself well. He's continually attempting to vary his spikes, either going off the block, across the block, or down the line. Seems to be his
Rowan Turner, left-hander. First point to Rowan Turner, aggressive service.
It's the sort of substitute that the coach enjoys. New man on, serves a winning point.
Young player from the AC2 with a lot of promise.
Well, once again, serving errors, unforced errors.
I'm sure, John, that the Australians have been told that they're to take the risk and try and make their serve aggressive. Quick play. Quick play. Mark Frisbee Smith putting that ball away through the centre. Beach volleyball player of some repute coming from South Australia. Once again, loses the opportunity of his good play. Top of the block, but the Japanese control it. Backcourt spike to Kamada. Makes no mistake.
A stamp of authority to finish that set.
Well, there's the experience of Olympic standard volleyball, overcoming the inexperience of Australians. Thomas Santa Maria has made mass changes to his lineup. He's brought Matt Perry back on. He's brought Andres Lomp on. He's taken Tom Duke off, and he's left from the last couple of points of the previous set Rowan Turner from ACT on. I guess he's got to try something, John. They really got whitewashed in that last set. Be looking to reverse the form in this set. Japan, on the other hand, have retained their same lineup. Totally
demoralised in the second set, but let's forget that set and let's see if we can get off to a good start, which Craig Buck has done for the Australians. Just a nice little touch over the block.
He had to use his height there. He really had to stretch for that ball to reach it.
He certainly did. Man who towers at 205 centimetres.
Good block.
Which definitely helps when you're blocking a Japanese spiker.
Nice wipe off Rowan Turner's hands out of court. Japan take the service.
Satomi coming in to serve for Japan.
And Australia out to Rowan Turner, left-hander. Blocked, but back into attack again. Rowan Turner cross court.
Nice ball. Very sharp angle. Extremely sharp angle. The linesman in no doubt that the ball was in. The Japanese not as convinced, judging by their reaction. Nice short serve by Buck.
Out to Narita. Matt Perry off the net in the centre position. Ball between him and the net. No chance. If you're going to block, you must get those hands right over the net and shut the attack out.
Kamada serving Australia. Nice receival of service.
Rowan Turner. Almost a six-pack. Unexpected ball down the line from the left-hander Rowan Turner from ACT. Lovely shot.
Interesting term, Murray, six-pack. What does that come from? What does that mean?
Six-pack usually refers when an opponent cops a ball square in the face, John.
Not a pleasant experience at the speed that ball travelled.
Ball wide. Japan are their left-hander.
Sugimoto.
One of their dual Olympians again, showing his experience being able to bypass the attack. Australia got their short front line. They're going to have to depend on getting through.
Beautiful.
They do.
Great thinking there, Murray.
Michael Roy.
Very intelligent
top of
spot.
the block. It certainly depends on the accuracy of that first pass, John.
Certainly does. The ball game revolves around receival of the ball. Yes. Beautiful.
Great play. Roy's fired up. He had that centre play fixed. He's the only person up blocking. He made no mistake. Shut the attack out total.
Australia leading 2 points to 1.
Backcourt attack from Narita. In play. Oh, left-handed position too.
At this stage we have set match point. Yamamoto, number 13 for Japan, being substituted on in place of the captain, Mitsuhashi. Mitsuhashi's efforts being acknowledged by a very appreciative crowd.
Timeout being called by Australia. It's their second timeout. It's their last opportunity to recoup this match. They're sitting on set point. They've got a score line of 9 at this stage, and it's not impossible for them to get back, but they've still got to sort out this attacking combination up the front line. The setter's got to be able to pick where their spikers are and put the ball right to them, John, if they're going to have any hope in the world of getting through and beating the Japanese block. Not that the Japanese are great tall blockers, they're just perfectly timed. They place their position, their block position is almost perfect in every occasion.
It's very interesting that Tom Duke hasn't come back onto the court, Murray.
I'm very surprised at that. He was playing very well, wasn't he? He's their main attacker up until half